Hello guys, welcome to No Man's Sky, and today I started a new survival game from scratch, and I'm not using any hacks or cheats that I know of or made. So, here's a story. I started survival, spawned on a planet 10 minutes away from my ship, an acidic planet, tier 2 acidic, and it was a real pain. I didn't die, but there was one problem. There was no zinc on the entire planet, so I couldn't actually repair my ship. You need what I think is 25 to 30 zinc to repair your ship. I'm not really sure the number, but the only way to get zinc, which I did not know of at the time, was to kill sentinels, and one sentinel will take half your shield, and you'll take about a minute or two to repair the whole. Actually, probably more like 5 minutes to repair your whole shield from there. Where you can find another drone. Each drone has a chance of dropping 4 to 5 zinc. So I had to cut that game and start a new one. My second planet. I spawned on a fire planet. First thing I do is look for zinc, because that was a problem last time, and guess what? There's no zinc on that planet either. No zinc plants on fire planets, heat planets, tier 2. Literally spent over an hour traversing tough terrain, got lost in a cave for another hour, traversed some more terrain, and there wasn't one zinc plant on the entire planet. So guess what? We delete that save file and make another one. And the third time, I managed to repair my ship. It took over 4 hours to get off the first planet in 3 different save files because there's no zinc plants. Now, survival always spawns you on at least a tier 2 hazardous environment. Since I spawned 3 to 4 planets, I always got tier 2 hazardous, so I assume that's constant. Because it's supposed to be harder. The heat planets don't have any zinc on the planet whatsoever. Either I got really unlucky, or I searched for 3 hours and there wasn't a single zinc plant, and they just don't spawn there. So if you get one of those heat planets, just delete your file and start again, because you can have very bad luck. Past that point, I'm around 10 hours in, and here's some early game issues I want to talk about. Some early game issues that they could fix, make the game more fun in the early game. There's not much you can do because you don't have any skills, any abilities, any weaponry or anything, so just a few points that they could fix up. Now the first thing they should do is they should make it a bit easier to get off a planet. Finding zinc on some of these planets do not exist. Probably just edit in all the parts that you need in a relatively close area around your ship, just for the first ship part, because sometimes you just can't even get off the planet. Past that, the game's pretty easy. There's not much difficulty. The only place you will actually really die past the initial spawn is in space, getting shot down. Since in survival mode you get attacked a lot more frequently, so you have to be careful of that. You have to have iron or isotopes in your inventory, so you can repair those shields, because they go down in like 4 to 5 shots. They're gone. Safe though. Watch out for that. They spawn a lot more frequently. A lot more. You won't be able to drive 2 minutes in space without being attacked, so you have to go planet to planet pretty carefully. Now another thing they should fix is this right here. So the large resource blocks you find in the planet, sometimes are clipped into the ground. Majority of them are, especially the emerald ones. And half the time when you're digging in them, you will find a spot of the ground that does not exist. And if you fall into it, this is what you get. So they have to patch up their algorithm a little bit and give them more of a shield of the surface surrounding these blocks of resources, because I find these pretty common These spots in the ground you can just fall into, and if you fall in here, you're dead. There's a 99% chance you're gonna die. Unless you get lucky and you know what you're doing. And you have to get in the same way you got out. Back into the map. And it just so happens we find one of those zones. Now it has to be near the water surface. And you have to find another resource block, so finding that is pretty tough, so make sure you'll probably want to reload before dying. There's just no point. I'm not even sure how these kind of glitches get through the quality assurance tests, because it's pretty easy to find these. I have no problem whatsoever finding glitches in this game. They need a better Q&A team. I don't even think they have any, because it just wasn't even released well. Not enough testing. You always have to test more than you even develop your games. Anyways, to get back into the map, you need to find one of these resources. Go on top of one and clip yourself in by breaking the block below you. You'll get in back into a map. So yeah, that's just one glitch. Now, another quality of life thing they should patch up is well, you see here I'm discovering I was uploading all these entities for a little bit cache, and the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm in my ship. I'm on a toxic planet, and I have to wait to get my armor up, my survivability kit up, so I can, you know, survive out there. Now you do this in a safe zone. It'll usually regenerate tier 1 rate. In your ship and in caves it'll be tier 1. And for quality of life that should be changed for your ship. Your ship should regenerate at tier 2 because it takes so long. Another problem with that is that it doesn't even work in this menu. Uploading all these things doesn't help me at all because the game's paused in this menu. So I've been sitting here trying to regenerate my toxicity bar, and it's just like, oh, that was a waste of time. So you literally have to sit here for minutes and minutes every hour, probably 10 minutes every hour. You're sitting like in a cave or on your ship waiting for this thing to regenerate. Make this regenerate tier 2 like in buildings. Buildings are fine. It regenerates all the way up from 0 to 100 in less than 20 seconds. Do that for your ship. That's just it. Save some time for us users. Us players, it's so boring just sitting here. That's some quality of life thing they should add in. Nearing the end of my full 10 hours, I decided to do some trading. This is another thing they should fix up for us, because in order to trade between entities, you have to wait in a area like this where ships come in and out, talk to them and trade. They'll give you random deals and random time intervals with them coming in and out. What would be better is we had a marketplace. Instead of waiting for these ships to come in and out, they add a little addition to these space stations. Add another room on the side for marketplace where you can go in and you can meet up with several different entities to trade resources instead of just waiting for these ships. Because this is like ship shopping, except they're adding like trading into it. They should separate them. So you can travel from solar system to solar system, and between the space stations there'll be different marketplaces, you know, different aliens to trade with. They'll have much more of a combined resource pool to help traders out in the game. Trading is a very good way to make money, but you don't really get anything out of it except for money. Which leads me to another point. Perhaps trading should replace money in some aspects. Like you could trade resources to an entity, like say give them some antimatter and give him a list of things, and he'll give you blueprints instead of using these new nano currency for blueprints. You can just trade a certain amount of items for something, just for more in the game that you can do. Spice it up a little bit more. So these traders in a marketplace could maybe a blueprint trader, and he'll just, maybe he wants some rare resources and you'll get some strong blueprints for it. Just so there's another way around getting blueprints, because right now there's a currency. You can find them in some buildings, but mostly it's currency. You just buy them. Once you have a strong enough relationship with the race, then they'll give you access to stronger blueprints. I just want more than that, because you have to go, in order to get that currency, you have to go build in the building on a planet and collect it. Some spots on the ground, some damaged ships you can collect it too. So actually collecting resources and building up your own materials to trade would be much more efficient in some ways. Well, there's some more issues, but it's not that important. The pain of the early game is quite painful in some cases. Well, there's one more thing that they should add. I've noticed in the 10 hours here that I have seen some river-like kind of areas, and it was pretty neat looking. But I really do want volcanoes. I don't think it'll be too hard to put in some magma that you can actually die to if you walk into it. That'll be pretty neat. It acts like water. I mean, all you have to do is change the surface and bubble up a bit, and bam, you have magma. It's just something they should add to make more hazards on planets, because right now all they have is environmental damage and a few animals that scratch your legs. Volcanoes are pretty common in the universe. If you have a molten core, you have volcanoes. You have tectonic plates. It's just how the world works, or how the universe works, I should say. So it doesn't even have to be magma. You can make something up, something like boiling water or boiling lakes. Why not? You have frozen lakes. Why not have boiling lakes that does massive damage if you even try going swimming in that thing? So yeah, they should add some more hazards that, you know, randomize on these planets. There's not much that can kill you. You barely even die to these environments, except for, you know, planets like this, which is super extreme planets. You can't really survive out here. If you spawn on this planet, it's a hard reset, but I don't know if you can spawn on these kind of planets. So yeah, just add a bit more hazards, add some volcanoes, make it look cool, have nice 4K pictures. Well, that'll be all for now. I have more glitches coming up, but video's getting pretty long, rambling off. And look, I'm sitting in here waiting for my bar to go back up so I can get the other 3 words on the platform. Make this a tier 2 regen instead of tier 1, please and thank you. Okay, and that's all. Goodbye.